Are young black men attracted to older white women? Or is it something else that we are not seeing? This man suggests that it's the other way around. In fact, older palm-colored women are attracted to young black men because when they reach the ages of 40 to 60 at that time, they are not that much preferable to Asian men and other palm-colored men. So they rather go prey on young black men who are vulnerable and might be desperate for financial assistance, or something like that. Before I spill all the tea for you, take a moment and listen to this brother who's come up with these stunning revelations that are making some palm-colored women question whether he's being orthodoxist, racially biased, or he's really telling the truth. You leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell us what you think about this notion. Do you think young black men are attracted to older palm-colored women, or is it older palm-colored women that throw themselves on these young men? Brothers, kings, and chads, I know you're familiar with such a topic, so don't feel shy to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get started now.
I am very suspicious of white women who all of a sudden want to date black men. All of a sudden. Or want to insert themselves into black discussions, black spaces. I am very suspicious of those women. And I've seen a lot of them on TikTok. I've seen a lot of these white women who want to role play as an African woman. They role play as a black woman, essentially. I'm very suspicious of them because I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed that when these women were, in their youth, when they were young, when they had options, they were in good shape, keyword good shape, they had choices of men to choose from, they dated, keyword dated, every other guy but black guys. Okay? But when they get to a certain point in their life when they are now usually overweight, I'm talking 3 times. I'm overweight myself, but I still keep in shape. Okay, I can hold my own. This is a sexy man right here. But I'm talking the overweight whereby your jaw, your chin is now here, your cheeks are now here, your tits are now here. Okay, and your stomach is now here. That's the kind of overweight I'm talking about. When these women hit that point in their life because they don't take care of themselves anymore, or whatever the reason, all of a sudden they like black men. All of a sudden they speak pidgin English. All of a sudden they know Abona Boy. They love Afrobeats. They love Amapiano. All of a sudden, I find that very suspicious because I see through your snake oil scheme. That's why I am very harsh to women like this, because I see through your facade, man. Now, to the women that dated black guys when they were young, that's not for you. This is for the women that switch up all of a sudden. You know what happens? You know why they want to date black guys all of a sudden? Because the men they truly want when they were young and fresh don't want them no more. That's why. Because one thing about Asian men, one thing about white men, you can say what you want about them. Those two groups of men, they have standards. White men have standards for their women. Oh yeah. Any woman that falls out of that standard, bro, forget you're getting kicked out. For the most part. So when these women, when they are dating white guys or dating Asian guys or whoever they are dating, they take care of themselves. They put priority on themselves. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be fit. I'm going to do this. But they know that once they hit rock bottom, most of these women that all of a sudden, keyword all of a sudden, just want to date black guys, insert themselves into African spaces, black spaces. They are doing this because the groups of men that they used to date before, that they chose to date, don't want anything to do with them anymore because they're not attractive anymore. Which is why if you go on TikTok right now, you're going to find 10 white women right now who are cosplaying as black women, cosplaying as African women. All these women have one thing in common. Well, 2 things in common. They are white, and number 2, they are overweight. You will find all these women that all of a sudden switch up to date black guys. It's almost like clockwork. They are all fat. Not even overweight. They are all fat. Well, 3 things in common. They are white, fat, stroke, overweight, and just what's the other thing? Old, yeah. White, grossly overweight, fat, old. These 3. And I always ask myself, why didn't you date black guys when you were younger, when you were fresh, when you were young? Why is it all of a sudden you've got kids, you've got white kids, you've got white grandkids, and all of a sudden you like Burna Boy? All of a sudden you like this? It's because the men in your community don't want you. They only wanted you when you kept yourself up. But now that you've hit rock bottom, because you know, most black guys have no standards. Most black guys have to take the scum of the scum. Look on, you think I'm lying? You think I am lying? Look on TikTok, it's easy to find. You have a bunch of these old, overweight, grossly unattractive white women who didn't date black guys before, but all of a sudden now that they are now grossly overweight, you know, old, unattractive, they now like, they want to date black dudes. It's because they don't have any other option. The black man, they know deep down that the black guy has no standard. He will take whatever he can get. That's why if you notice, most of these women that complain about being romantically scammed, most of them they are white, they are old, unattractive women, and you know, you can tell, okay, I see why she got scammed. You're unattractive, you have no other option. I'm suspicious. What do you think? Do you guys understand why I'm suspicious of these kind of women or not? Remember when I told you guys that these older white women who all of a sudden start dating black men, have interest in black men between the ages of 40 to 60, when they hit this age range, they don't deal with guys like me, because first of all, guys like me, they will never be in our spaces, or we are too intelligent for them to manipulate. They don't deal with guys like me because we see through their manipulative and control dynamics. Okay, let me show you proof. You see this lady, she responded to my video asking me if I am a racist. This video, they are speaking about older white women who all of a sudden start dating black men. There is video proof of it. There is even law in Gambia restricting women like this from going to Gambia and other countries to prey on black men, young, naive black men in Gambia. If I am racist, why would the government of Gambia implement such a law? Because they are sick of it. And this is going on in Jamaica, Africa, other countries in Asia, in Latin America. But you know what she did? She accused me of being a racist because she knew I am making sense. But what people like this typically do, this is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. She throws it out there. Oh, are you a racist? Despite all the points I made, she just reads, are you a racist? What she is doing, she's trying to deviate me from my point. She's trying to put me in a defensive mode. Like, oh, I'm not a racist. And I told her, I see through your smoke. I see through your smoke screen. You understand? So now, this is what she did. When I responded to her to let her know that I see through your smoke screen, this is not going to get to me. She then added my video to her story and she titled it, why are you so angry? Why so angry? Do you see the manipulation techniques? Do you guys see the gaslighting? Now, a guy that's not smart, a guy that's naive, a desperate African guy, a desperate black man, he's going to automatically want to play the, oh, but I'm not, I am not, oh, I am not, oh, no, not me, because I see through the smoke. She just proved my point. They don't deal with certain types of African guys. They don't deal with certain types of black guys because they are smart. They can see through their smoke screen. They focus on a specific type of black man, a specific type of African man. This is what these kind of women do. They insert themselves in African spaces. They insert themselves in black spaces. Insert themselves. Because in their community, they are rejects. But in the African community, in the black community, they are hailed and praised. So they have the audacity. They have the audacity to speak in African spaces, because black men have given them the spaces. She just said, are you a racist? Literally made that video explaining why this is weird and suspicious. But she ignored all that. Said, are you a racist? She's trying to gaslight me and take me off my square. No, I see what you're doing and you are hella suspicious. You gaslighting person. You see, this is what I call a grade A gaslighting technique. An angry angel or whatever the name is. Let me tell you this. I'm the wrong guy to try this with. You see, for people who do not know, what she's doing now is she's trying to throw accusations at me so that I will automatically go into defense mode. For example, are you a racist? Oh, I'm not a racist. Of course I'm not a racist. I'm only trying to... I am not going to fall for that trick. You know what I am saying. So stop trying to act. This is a very typical approach used by, you know, You know, this is a very typical approach. Is that they're trying to trivialize whatever you're saying and just cling on to something so that they can throw and take you off course. I'm the wrong guy to try this with. I said what I said. Most white women who all of a sudden, key phrase, all of a sudden start dating black men, especially when they're in between 40 and 50, are women that are rejects in the community, and they come to the black community, role play as a black woman, you know, and they try to act like they're the queen. And I don't blame women like that. It's because the black men who are dumb and the raccoons of dating take when anything that comes their way. Why don't you go to Asian men? Why don't you try white men? Why don't you try other groups of men when you hit that, when you are no longer qualified for the men you typically dated when you're in your early 20s and 30s? But it's always black men, especially and a specific type of black man, a low caliber black man that you all go for so you can control and wave your whiteness and wave whatever thing you have in front of him. That's not being speaking on reality that a lot of people, as you can see in the comment section, confirm. So no, your tactic, your strategy did not work on me. Now waddle away, you oversized whatever you are. And why is it that most of the women that all of a sudden want to date black men, they start making this change between the age of 40 to 50? This is the age range that I've noticed. You know, I had my live stream and I had some women come up, oh yeah, but you know, we change, people can change. How old are you? I'm 50. Oh, I used to travel, I like black men, I like black men. I travel to this, I travel to this. How old are you? I'm 45. Really? So why not when you were 22? Why not when you were 25? Why not when you were 30? Why not when you were 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36? Why when you are now 40, 50, 60? Why that? Why is it all, most of you all fall within this age range of 40 to 50 to 60? Why? Because the men that used to date comfortably when you were young, fresh, bubbly, you know, now you are not the same woman anymore. Now that you are almost at retirement age, you're like, well, let me get the guy that's cheap. Let me get the guy that's easy. Let me start traveling to Gambia, travel to Senegal, travel to Nigeria, Kenya. Oh, Kenya, Caribbean. Talking about, yeah, I like black men. You like black men when you have lost your whole appeal. Look on TikTok. I've taken some screenshots of some of these women. They are preying on ignorant African men, talking about we're just here to make friends. Why are you now making friends now? Why now? Why are you making friends now that you are in your 40s and 50s and 60s with black men that you did not date when you were in your 20s? Why didn't you date them? Why are you only starting to make friends with them and learn about their culture at the age of 40 and 45? When you've had your kids, you've had your grandkids, you've had everything, you have no more dog in this fight. All of a sudden, yeah, I want to date black men. Okay, that this is so it's so suspicious. And I said what I said on that video with my full chest because I did not lie. I did not lie. I find women like you extremely suspicious. You are fake, you are inauthentic, and you are just trying to go where you're just trying to go when you know you will be hyped up for the most lowest effort. Why don't you go for the white guys that you always dated? Because they don't want you anymore. You're old. You're old. So now you go for a specific type of black guy. You never go for black guys that are working hard, creating things. You go for the guy that's an asylum seeker, a refugee, a guy that's just desperate. Because then that's how you can manipulate, you can control them. I see you women.
This brother is on to something. He's got some revelations that are very true, and most of us have noticed them, but we fail to talk about them simply because we don't want to be labeled as racist or racially biased. And that's the problem of palm color people, right? When you call them out for their racial biases, they also look for a sacrificial lamb from black communities that they can also drag into these conversations, because they're always saying that it's not fair that other races cannot be racially biased towards palm color people, because palm color people are the colonizers. They are the authors of racial discrimination. So it's very hard or impossible for somebody else to be racially biased towards them, and they don't like that, right? So they're always looking for a sacrificial lamb, trying to hear other statements from marginalized communities, from people who've got voices, and they will manipulate the perspective, call you racially biased towards them, even though you're not. Like this brother over here is just citing something that is noticeable, something that we've been talking about, something that a lot of us don't want to point to, because it's something that affects our communities and we might fall victim to it. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but one significant factor contributing to the attraction between younger men from black communities, especially and older palm-colored women, is the promise of financial security. For young men struggling to make ends meet, the prospect of being with a partner who can provide financial stability and support can be highly appealing. This is especially true for individuals who may not have access to the same resources or opportunities due to systemic inequalities based on race, socioeconomic status, or other factors. And that is why this brother was pointing out to a lot of African brothers in Africa here who might fall victim to this notion, because a lot of us brothers, we're not doing so well financially, especially brothers below the age of 30. Moreover, the life experiences of older women, particularly those who have been previously married or established successful careers, can be perceived as an asset by younger men seeking guidance and mentorship. Yeah, I suppose. The wisdom and maturity that come with age may create a sense of security and comfort for younger partners who may feel valued and understood in such relationships. Not precisely, but what I think is the comfort of being with a partner that seems to understand your role in this relationship, right? Note a lot of arguments are involved in such a relationship dynamic, and a lot of young men might find such a relationship convenient. Those arguments are a thing of the past now, because you're dealing with somebody who's mature. So something like that might be true, but leave your thoughts in the comments and let's continue. Furthermore, the transition from adolescence to adulthood can be challenging for many young men, especially those navigating societal expectations of masculinity and independence. In the context of intergenerational relationships, older palm-colored women may offer a refuge from these pressures, providing emotional support and companionship without the same expectations or demands placed on younger partners. Now, I just want to point out to the notion that the reason why this brother is talking about palm-colored women especially, it's because it's a trend that is now just being popularized, right? But this thing has been going on a lot, especially involving older black women as well. Older palm-colored women are entering the scene, and it's not just women who are palm-colors, but men also are doing the same thing, taking advantage of this opportunity because of the similar reasons that our sisters might be facing. However, it is essential to recognize the potential pitfalls and power dynamics inherent in such relationships. The power dynamics that this brother was talking about, the asymmetry of power based on age, experience, and financial status, can create vulnerabilities for young partners who may be more susceptible to manipulation or exploitation. This is exactly what this man was talking about. The promise of financial security and emotional fulfillment may obscure underlying issues of dependency and unequal power dynamics, leading to potential harm for both parties involved. And I think this also might suggest the notion where this palm-colored older woman finds you cheating on her simply because you don't think that she's the right person for you, but you're just in this relationship for something that you want, like financial benefits and all. And if she finds you cheating because of the power dynamics into this relationship, she might end it or she might terminate you by unaliving you. This is something that is normal in the modern age right now. And if you're familiar with what I'm talking about, leave your thoughts in the comments. Moreover, societal stigma and stereotypes surrounding intergenerational relationships, particularly those involving younger men and older women, can further complicate matters. Judgment and criticism from peers, family members, and society at large may exert pressure on individuals involved in such relationships, impacting their sense of self-worth and identity. I guess that is the direction that this brother was trying to go in, but he was disturbed. Maybe he was trying to make it a part series, right? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he was trying to go with it. He was trying to continue with it. But that notion or the comment set another discussion in motion, which also shows you the palm-colored privilege that palm-colored people, especially palm-colored women, exert towards marginalized communities. They feel entitled towards any man and anybody, and they just feel right to talk about them. And I think the reason why this brother is responding in a way that he's responding, it might sound harsh. I'm pretty sure he's an African brother who doesn't find palm-colored people intimidating. So the fact that she was expecting this brother to feel intimidated points to that notion. But let me read you a perspective that I found in regard to this topic, because experience is the best teacher. So this subject is fascinating to me. Somebody wrote, I have yet to figure out why young black men in their 20s are attracted to older palm-colored women of 40, 50, etc. I've seen it happen several times when I'm out and about, and it never fails to surprise me. Although I'm a feminine and petite woman, it is obvious that I am much older than they are. Some young enough to be my son, why are they attracted to women like myself? I have been followed around the library, movie theaters, music store, and just 2 days ago at the grocery store. This last one looked to me about 24. He even followed me as I pushed my cart out the door, and he stood by the door when I drove off. A palm color woman telling our story, now that's something, right? I remember a couple years ago feeling very attracted to black men about my age. In the checkout line and at another grocery store, he stood behind me in line, and I thought my heart was beating loud enough for him to hear. Although I'm attracted to certain black men, I have never considered the relationship with a younger man until recently, when I was told by a young black man that I was too concerned about age. So this palm color woman suggests that a lot of young black men follow them instead of them following the young black men. That's what this palm color woman is talking about, and that's why I said experience is the best teacher. But you tell me what you think in the comment section. But to some degree, I can agree with this notion because I've seen a lot of brothers on social media, especially simply because he's in need of financial assistance, especially, and he can offer her the need that she requires, if you know what I mean. But like I said, to some degree, and it's not always, but you tell me what you think in the thought section, in the comment section below. Are you familiar with this notion? Do you agree with this brother? Or what do you think? I will see you in the next video. Signing off. Your like, share, and subscribe.